Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our summer edition of the HCL DX quarterly webinar series. We're going to get started in just a minute or so here. Just going to give it another minute. Of course, we still got a bunch of people joining. So yeah, just bear with us and we'll get started in right about 1 minute past the hour. Thank you. All right, there we go. Reaching critical mass. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and even good evening if that applies. I sound like the Truman Show. Wherever you are, thanks for joining us today. My name's Adam. I'm with the DX marketing team, and we've got a really fun, informative, and hands-on session for you. We're going to take a closer look at some DX features and capabilities via a series of demos. These demos will be presented by gentlemen you see on screen. We've got Jason Moore, Ekzel Sevilla, and Tim Golledge in that order, in terms of the order that they'll be presenting. Jason and Tim are both technical advisors for HCL Experience. Ekzel is a DX product manager. Flight time today, as I like to call it, is approximately 30 minutes, give or take. We will have time for questions at the end of the session. If you'd like to ask a question, please use the Q&A panel here in GoTo rather than the main chat, if you don't mind. Just keeps things organized and lets us get to your questions more efficiently. One last note, this session will be recorded, and we will provide that recording in our follow-up communications, within a few days after the session. All right, let's jump into it. Quick intro here. It's not just the session. This is an ongoing series we're going to have of product focus, more hands-on sessions. We're going to look at features and functionality, the benefits they could bring to your business. Again, with an emphasis on demos and visuals. Obviously, there's always some slideware, but we're going to show you wherever we reasonably can. So watch for your invite to our next session, which will, of course, be fall or autumn, if you prefer that term. And just as a quick product intro, DX is the fastest way. Whoever on your team, your practitioners, developers, your IT team, you can deliver digital experiences that are trusted, that bring together the content, the applications, and the process. A lot of use cases, of course, whether it's self-service customers or citizens, the government citizen model, supply chain, business-to-business, partner portals, bidding contracts, internet is a major one, right? BT, like business to employee. That's a very common use case as well. And as you can see, global brands here around the world, some very, very big iconic brands, and they all use DX that are ideal to them. So we're going to jump into the demo section now and start with Jason. And Jason's going to cover Huddo boards, workflow, task management integration, that sort of thing. You can see some notes here on the screen, but I'm going to pass it to Jason here, and he'll dive in and a deeper dive. All right, Jason, over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Nice.
Okay, so you're seeing my screen.
Indeed.
Great. All right, so I'm excited today. We have the opportunity to showcase a new capability with an offering that we have for our HCL DX customers. Hold on, I'm just trying to get my windows all aligned here properly. Okay, so we've got this new capability that we're offering through our partnership with Huddo boards. DX customers may deploy the container version of Huddo boards on Kubernetes or Docker, running alongside their own private DX environment. So just a little bit of the technical info before we get into this demo that would be appropriate for all audiences. The boards functionality works with OAuth to directly integrate with the DX security and user directory. So your usernames and your emails and your pictures that are stored in the directory that underlies DX, those will all automatically be integrated into and indivisible in Huddo boards. And so it makes it very easy to share and invite your existing community and even external members into your project and task management. Huddo provides a pre-built application to deliver the full experience inside of DX, as well as an API to generate micro apps, which we'll see upcoming here in the demo shortly. So just a quick intro for what we're going to see in the Huddo experience. So Boards is a visual and collaborative task management tool designed for teams to manage projects and tasks efficiently. It offers customizable features like Kanban boards, timelines, mind maps, and task dependencies. And this allows users to create and manage tasks, assign team members, and track progress and receive notifications around all sorts of task and project management activities. So what we're going to show is a demo of this capability now. And I'm going to show it through the eyes of Sylvia, who is our character here. She is in the marketing department with the Woodburn Company. She's going to start her day by visiting Woodburn's HCL-based intranet. And this is where she sees her personalized experience, which consists of a dashboard showing her data that's relevant to her marketing job role, showing her notifications that are happening across the intranet and other systems, and as well as a list of rich content that is important to her business role within the Woodburn Company. As we scroll down here, we can see that her apps start to appear. And the first micro app in the list here is her tasks. And this is where the site leverages the API built into Huddo boards to give Sylvia a quick look at the number of open tasks that she has in her various boards that she belongs to. So we'll click into the Huddo board. And we'll see here that the board's experience is loading in the context of the intranet. So she doesn't lose any of her navigation. She still has complete functionality, access to her favorites and her notifications that are part of the core intranet platform. So now Sylvia begins going through the board's functionality. She wants to check the to-dos that she has. So she comes in here to her to-dos list, and she can see that she has nothing overdue. She does have one thing scheduled for today and a couple of things coming up tomorrow and later in the week. And this is across all of the different projects that she is a member of. Right now we can see that she's a member of 2 different projects, the marketing campaign and the fall conference planning. And she can see the collaborative experience. It was really nice capability to see the pictures of all the different team members from Woodburn that are working with her in these projects. Each of these cards can have a different due date and have categories applied by adding different colors, and these colors can be named to represent different aspects of each project. So as she's reviewed her to-dos here, the next thing we want to do is kind of show how these how a board or project would get started. So she comes over here to the main board's homepage. This shows her all the boards that she's a member of, things that are new since last week, and then accessed in various points of the past. So we'll take a dive into the boards here and take a look how we get started with the board. So there's some basic templates available, such as classic meetings, department-based templates, and even a blank template. But more than likely, a new project is going to be based off of previous business experiences, best practices that have been developed by the organization. And that's where Sylvia would come in here and select something from the templates. Now the platform comes with some default templates, but each individual board that is created can then be saved as a template for reuse in the future. So the more you use the boards, the more best practices get developed and the more templates are available to be shared across the organization. So Sylvia is going to select conference planning. She has the opportunity to select which view starts. So we'll just leave that with the default board view. Next, she'd like to add some teammates. So let's add Lucy. And we can see, again, Lucy's information that's stored in the DX directory automatically comes through here. We're going to set Lucy as an editor, and then let's also add Felix in. So we see Felix there. Felix is now also an editor. And then we have the opportunity to assign these users to individual roles. So let's put Lucy as the event manager, Sylvia is going to serve the marketing function, and Felix the accounting function. So we'll save this, and now we have a brand new board created to help support the planning and execution of a conference. We can see that Lucy and Felix have automatically been added as owners of certain tasks based on the roles that they were entered into. Now, Sylvia can take this template now and start to organize it perhaps for some specific needs of this conference. So say, for example, this first card, she wants to move it into a different category. She's able to just quickly move those back and forth. If we click into the card here, we can see that Sylvia has the opportunity to set some due dates. So let's say that this first task is due at the end of next week, and we'd like it to get started at the beginning of the week, and maybe finish it up on Thursday to be due by Friday. She could put some rich text in here to add the description. She could assign some colors to represent maybe some internal categories that go along with each card. And then if she'd like, she can say, hey, I want Felix to be part of this one as well, and she can assign Felix to this card. Now the card also has additional collaborative capabilities, so we can attach files. We can make this card dependent upon other tasks, or make it a requirement before other tasks can be completed. And then it gives additional collaborative capabilities around each task. So now that is set, we can see here that there's a lot of opportunities to get very granular in how you configure each task and set up the tasks to be in the appropriate category, and make it well known for each person that's collaborating on the team what their roles and responsibilities are, so they can get the task done on time and on schedule and deliver a great project. So let's take a look at what a board that is already a little bit more detailed. So we'll bring up Sylvia's marketing campaign here. We can see this marketing campaign board defaults to the timeline view, where she can see all of the tasks across different categories in a timeline view of when tasks need to be started and when they need to be completed. You can see certain tasks have already been completed here. And then we can also see that certain tasks are dependent upon earlier tasks that are defined in the board. So dependencies can be easily set up here by clicking on this arrow and setting up dependencies between the different pieces of the board. And then just to take a look at some of the different views. So if we go back to the board view, this is the one we saw originally when we created the last board from the template. There is a mind map view, the timeline view, which we just saw, and then there's an activity view, which lists the task by the categories or sections of the template or the board that they belong to. And then I did mention earlier some of the capabilities around each board is that once the board has been created, it can be used to create templates for further use, further reuse of best practices that are developed as each project is completed. Okay, so that's our quick overview of the Huddo capabilities. We're excited to offer this as a new entitlement to all of our DX customers. There is documentation available in the latest version of the help for CF 221, where you can learn more about getting access to Huddo. And it's really a great way to bring the capability of visualizing tasks and centralizing collaboration. It's likely that this function is already being paid for or utilized in various parts of your organization. And now you can bring it to your company as an entitlement to through your existing DX license. So I think that's it for my demo here. Thank you all.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jason. I'll grab the share back. Just give me a moment. Really like, by the way, the Kanban and card style view, sort of the Gantt charts. I mean, very reminiscent of some great tools like, for example, Monday.com or Trello, if anyone's familiar with those. Really nice way to visualize workflow. All right, let's go to our next presenter. This will be Ekzel, and he's going to take us through access control and permissions for elements like nested collections. Ekzel, just give me one moment, and I'm going to pass the share over to you for your demo.
All right, thank you.
Okay, should be coming over now.
Hope you can see my screen already.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so thanks everyone, and thank you, and hello everyone. So I'm here to demo our new capabilities for the HCL Digital Asset Management tool. So right now I'm Adam Astor for this. So I want to be able to upload first some of my assets. So right now in DAM tool, we can now do ability to upload in bulk. So I have previously uploaded this one, the Woodburn folder here. And just an example, I have here another folder that I wish to upload. So the new launch with our projects, subfolders, and the assets under that. So one thing is we can just drag this one. Sorry. And oh, sorry about that. YM. All right. Why am I not able to upload this one? Sorry. So no, what is happening? All right. Sorry about that. So yeah, as you can see, you can see that there's an indicator that you can just drag and drop a folder that you can upload anywhere, and you can see the updates here of the items being uploaded, and based on what is the folder structure, it will create the list of the collections under that. So since it is already done uploading, you'll be able to see this one. So this is the same as what we initially uploaded. So we have the new launch collection, and there's a sub collection called our projects, and there are assets under that. So what I'm going to show next is how to set the restriction for the sub collections. So the admin can add additional security for the DAM asset. So I go ahead with the Woodburn collection. And let's go ahead with adding access first. So I have two other users that I want to have access to this one, editor access. So I have Caleb Malik, and I also have Ethan Reed. So they are the two editors for this specific collection. So once they have access to that, and once we go ahead with the sub collections and see their access control, you'll be able to see that by default it will inherit the access from the parent collection. But for this specific example, for example, I don't want Ethan Reed to have access to our projects sub collection. So I'll just remove this one. So you can specify the access for this sub collection. So I'll only add here Caleb Malik, so he'll be able to show to see this our project's sub collection. So you'll see the notification that the permission is already set for the collection. So I'll go ahead and reload my page, and right now I'm currently Ethan. So once I logged in, I should be able to see the Woodburn collection, but since Adam already set the restriction that I won't be able to see the our project's sub collection, so I should not be able to see that here. So let's just wait for this to load properly. So as you can see, it's only 7 collections, and comparing to what Adam can see, he has 8 collections in total. So you can see here, these are projects. But yeah, for Ethan Reed, since he does not have access to that specific sub collection, he's not able to see that. But what if you only want a specific sub collection to be viewed by one user? So right now we have an option to enable the access control traversal via Helm chart. So I have here another view or another environment wherein the traversal is set to true. So meaning the user will be able to access still the collections, but not the assets under them. So he will be able to still to traverse to the access that to the collection that he has access to. So for this specific example, I set the specific access to the featured projects to Caleb Malik. So when we check this one, and let's go ahead with reloading this environment. So what we'll be able to see is that Caleb Malik will still be able to traverse to the collections, but he won't be able to see the assets under those since he doesn't have an access. All right, it's just loading. So I'm in. Apologies for my internet connection. All right, so this is the new launch collection and our projects. So as you can see, he does not have access, or he can't see the assets under that. But since he has access to the featured projects sub collection, he's able to see them here. But if Caleb Malik tries to view the other sub collections that he has not access to, this will be his view. So access restricted, meaning does not have permission to view the items inside the collection. All right, I think that's it on my demo. I'll hand it back over to you, Adam.
Awesome, thank you so much, Ekzel. I'll take that back just a moment. Really like how efficient it is to edit, change, update permissions for large groups of assets all at once without, having to specify it individually. That's a really good function right there. All right, we are coming over to Tim's section here, Tim's demo, and he's going to take you through app dev using some very popular JS frameworks. And Tim, just a moment, I will make you presenter. Okay, should have it now. Very nice. There it is.
Okay, you can see my screen.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Adam. Okay, so here we have a government website. So Adam talked about the different use cases. In this one, we're looking at a government website. This is a page, a citizens page that's aimed at the citizens of Woodburn Islands. And it shows a number of things. So it shows the latest news. It shows some events that are happening in the next week. And also the government wanted to make information available to their citizens in PDF form as well, and so it shows a document library that allows citizens access to these PDF assets. So HCL DX allows composite pages like this to be bring together content and applications using a variety of rendering and integration techniques. So let's have a little bit of look behind the scenes here and see how this page was built. So this news carousel is showing a number of different articles that have been authored in WCM using standard authoring templates to create content. And it's rendering them using an HTML component that's been built using the JavaScript framework called Vue. So let's take a look at this component. So here we have a single file HTML component that consists of CSS and HTML and JavaScript all together in one place. So because this is an HTML component, this allows you to use things like WCM tags. So for example, here we are building or making use of some logic tags from WCM to show or hide some content, specific content based on these WCM tags within the HTML. And also it allows you to make use of other WCM tags to retrieve information to be used within the JavaScript aspects. So we can use, for example, WCM tags to get request attributes, and we can use those tags to find the information to show within this carousel. So here we have a tag that points to a menu. And because this is a standard menu, it allows you the normal opportunities to choose location and authoring templates for where to retrieve the information from. And then it returns the information for those news items in JSON format. So this news item is, menu is then inserted into a content item, and this content item is then placed on the page that provides this UI for the news. So this is a news carousel created using an HTML component using Vue. So let's move to the next part of the page, the upcoming events. So HCL Leap is a great place to store the data that you need for that kind of component. So here we have a simple Leap application that allows us to collect information about the name of the event, a description of it, and when this event is. Then we have a number of different events that have been created that are now available for the citizens. And the great thing about Leap is that when you create a Leap application, you automatically get access to all of the data that has been submitted as a REST API. So here we have a REST API returning JSON for all of the entries that have been created in this application. Then what we have is we have a React application, a React script application that makes use of this REST API returned from Leap to render content in the accordion style that we saw. And because this is a locally developed React application, you can run this and develop this and test this locally as you would with any other React application. So here I'm just building and starting up this application, and you can see now that we have these upcoming events available for me to test, which means that when I make updates to the application, they are automatically immediately referenced in this locally developed application. So DX also includes some theme modules for React that allow you to deploy the script application without the React components themselves and make use of shared modules and shared libraries that improve the deployment process. So this was the upcoming events React application. So we have an HTML component here built on Vue. We have a script application here that's built on React. And finally, let's look at this document library. So again, this is a script application that is providing this capability. But this time we have built it using the Angular JavaScript framework. So this uses a combination of techniques to bring together this user interface. So first of all, it uses again a WCM menu to render the results of the different documents that are available and provides these through a content as a service page. So here we have a content as a service URL that is using a menu to show the different documents that have been authored. So we have a menu here, which again looks in a specific site area. So in the site area, in the document site area, there are a number of subsite areas, each of which has documents in them. This content as a service page renders the metadata for each of these documents or a small subset of the document information in JSON form. That's then used by the Angular application to get a list of documents. So we could also have used the DX REST API that is available to get that list of documents. And in fact, that's what we are doing through these other capabilities of these other REST APIs to get the site areas that we just saw on the in WCM. So these site areas are retrieved using REST API calls, and then that site area information is used in order to construct the tabs that are shown in the user interface. So these tabs represent exactly the site areas, and within each of these site areas, with each of these tabs, you have the documents that are part of that site area. So in this app, we are also storing favorites. So a user is able to choose the favorite documents that they want to store, and those are made available to them in a favorites tab. And this favorites information is currently stored within another Leap application, which is another great place to store information such as that kind of metadata. But equally well, you could store this in a CDP, for example, such as the one provided from HCL. So building this application happens in much the same way. You can run this locally in the development mode, but then equally you can build the application here and deploy this to DX using simple command line options. So we have a small helper tool that I wrote here, which explains the commands that are necessary to do this. So that's simply making use of the Angular command line interface to build this script application and then to deploy it to DX. So here, if I run this command, it will build the script application and then prompt me for a password that will then allow me to deploy this application to DX using the DX client command. So here, this is all configured. So we have within this script application, there is a package file, and here we are defining where we want this script application to be deployed. So here, for example, we can see that I want to create a content item called .clip Angular app and place it in this specific site area. So that makes it easy to develop script applications locally, to test them locally, and then to deploy them to DX so that they can be included on pages, bringing together all of these different capabilities. So that was just a really quick look at how JavaScript frameworks like React or Angular or Vue can be used together on a single page to build engaging user experiences. So Adam, that was what I was going to show today.
Terrific. Thanks very much for that, Tim. I'll grab this back. I really like the flexibility of being able to develop in the framework or frameworks, plural, of your choice, and bring them all together, render them seamlessly as an experience for your customers, partners, employees, citizens, what be it. Thank you for that, Tim. Okay. We are on to the last few minutes here. If our audience has questions, we have a few already by the looks of it, this would be the time. Feel free, folks, using the questions panel, or it may say Q&A for your attendees. Feel free to drop those in now. I'll get started with a few I already see. For our presenters, anyone can jump in on any one of these. I'm gonna go in rough order of the demos we had just to make it easy. So the first one's on Huddo. Probably for you, Jason. The question is Huddo free? And is this the whole product, a subset, what have you?
Yeah, so Huddo is included as an entitlement. There are some views that are included with the entitlement, such as the activity list view. And you can use that entitlement for free with your DX license. And then there are some of the additional views like the Kanban boards that come as a premium offering directly available from Huddo.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, we've got a couple more coming in. That's always good. Appreciate that from our audience. Ekzel, this one's probably for you. For nested collections and permissions, what CF is that in? What's required in order to take advantage of that, please?
Yeah, so the two things I showed earlier. So for the bulk upload via drag and drop, you can already do that in CF 218. And for the nested collections access control, it's available in CF 220. So yeah.
Awesome. All right, appreciate it. Well, one from Christopher here. Thank you, Christopher. Tim, this is probably yours. If this hasn't been asked, and I don't think it has, are the applications that were demoed available in the HCL GitHub repository? For example, the Angular app that was pulling the documents to be displayed in the tab view.
Yeah, well, actually, we're going to hope to do that. Also, the demo itself. So we have our Sophie environment, which on which we have some things called DX solution modules, allowing you to get access to all of our great demos. We'll include this this page and this site on the solution modules, so that should be available on Sophie sometime soon. And we'll also try to make the source for these script applications available as part of that.
Terrific, thanks, Tim. And I think you actually answered the last question I see here, which was around getting a copy of those apps. I think you just answered that quite nicely.
Excellent.
Okay, well, we'll give it another few moments here, folks. If you have any more questions, this is the time. If not, we'll wrap up. And again, we'll deliver a follow-up recap. There will be a recording of this session. Please give us a few days to get that out to you. And any further questions, if some come in between now and then, we will endeavor to answer those at the same time. I don't see anything else. So thank you to everyone for joining wherever and whenever you are. Thank you to all three of our presenters. Great hands-on demos. Really appreciate that. And with that, I will wish you a good day and rest of the week. Please watch for the follow-up, and also please watch for your invite to the next HCL quarterly webinar, DX quarterly webinar session, which again will be this autumn. Thanks again, everyone, and have a terrific day.